Hello everybody, and welcome back to Traps Tuesday Toots. Today we're going to go over a basalt generator and stone generator in one that I created using some knowledge I had from some previous things that I've done. And to my knowledge, this is the only version just like this. No one else has this. This is unique. And it works in 1.16.4 for sure. I believe that it should work in anything ever since the Nether update, but I can't swear to that because I haven't tried it. But let's get started. So to start with, this thing has a 24 by 24 square around it, and that is going to be the basis for the redstone that runs the stone generation portion of this build. So let's start off by building that. Now there are going to be you're going to build two of these essentially if you want this at full operation, but if you wanted a half operation, you could build just one. And the first one we're going to do is going to be on the ground. So let's start out on the ground. We actually do need 2 blocks underneath the 24 by 24 square, and I'm going to make it all float just so we can see it all a little bit better. So build a 24 by 24 square. Alright, now that that square is done, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and place in the redstone. We'll build one side, and then the other 3 sides are all identical. So let's start out. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and on the 6th block, let's place a block, and then place 3 more blocks. So a total of 4 blocks out right here. Now we need to come down, right here, in line with that 4th block, and then we come over 2 more blocks. Then we come down again, and then we come over again. Well, actually this time it's only 3 blocks. And then let's do the same thing on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. On the 6th block, we place 4 blocks, and then we come down over 3, and then down and over 3. So it's going to end up looking like that. Perfect. Alright, now we also are going to come in here and come onto the 3rd block, and we're going to go ahead and place a block up, and a block up, and a block up. And then we need to place a block down, and another block down, just like so. Nope, that was wrong. Right there. Perfect. And then we'll add a block there. So again, that combination is coming out on the 3rd block over, come out over 1, up 1, over 1, up 1, over 1, up 1 for a total of 3. And then come back down 1, and then out 3 and out 2. And that's gonna put that right like that. Alright, now on this middle block of each side, we're going to want to come down and over 1 right here. Now let's grab out some repeaters, and what we're going to do is we're going to go off of this and onto 2 ticks, off of this and onto 2 ticks. Here we'll put a repeater here and here. Those will be on 1 tick. Over here we're going to have a repeater on 4 ticks and a repeater on 1 tick. Repeater on 1 tick. A 1 tick repeater and another 1 tick repeater. Alright, now everything else that we have here can go ahead and get covered in redstone. And we'll just keep it to the one side because, like I said, we're going to build the other 3 identically. And that is good. There you go. Okay, now what we want to do is we're going to need to pull out our obsidian next. And we will need to build up 1 here where this repeater is. We will want to place 2 right here. We'll place another one right there. And right there. Now you could go ahead and place those in later, but I'm just sticking them in now so you can kind of see where they go. Alright, you're also going to need 2 in here, and then 1 here, and straight across from it, and 2 right there. And that is going to be all of the obsidian needed for this. Obviously, you can place any of these blocks in whenever is most convenient for you. I'm just showing you where they go. But if you can do it like this, great. You know, use scaffolding or dirt blocks or something to get them in place would be fine. Alright, now it's time for some redstone. There is actually, there is going to be another obsidian there and another obsidian there. And then that is all of the obsidian needed. Now we need to place some pistons here and here, 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 getting rid of this one, and then on the center 2 blocks here. And then we need sticky pistons to be here and here. Now, on these 2 obsidian blocks, we do need to go ahead and add redstone. That's going to be needed later. Then we'll need to take a observer and face it in this direction. If you place it like this, it faces the right way. You want the face facing this redstone so that it will fire. This piston. Alright, now we need some more iron, or whatever our building block material is, in a few places. We need it right here. We need to come out to here. And then we need to build a little trough. This is actually going to be for water later on. So that comes out 2, this comes out 2, up 1, oops, and like that. And you're going to have a gap of 2 right here. That's where the stone is actually going to be pushed out. Alright, now we need to place soul soil right here and blue ice right here. And then we need our building block to go there, 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 and like that. Again, a little trough for lava here. And then here we need to just put a little side on each of these, and this is a little trough for lava right here. So we have lava here, water here, and lava up here. Now I do recommend pulling out some stone blocks and just placing them right here for now. That's going to make it so that when you place the water and lava, you don't break the rest of the system. And so that's going to be very useful. So now the only other thing to add is a line of blocks right along here. And what you actually want to do is make it stick out 2 extra blocks on each side. Now on this side we're going to go ahead and stick in a repeater on 2 ticks, and on this side we're going to stick in a repeater on 4 ticks. And then, just like we did before, cover everything left in redstone. Those will fire because that redstone changes direction and that observer notices it. That's totally fine. Won't break anything. Alright, and that is that build complete. So now we just need to repeat that 3 other times right here to get the system up and going. those of you watching closely might have noticed I just had to fix a couple of things. This obsidian was placed in the wrong place, and I forgot to put the observers on 3 of the sides. So just, when you're building, make sure you're careful and double check everything. That is, to be honest, the hardest thing I had when I built this on the Brocraft server was just making sure everything was consistent and the same all the way around. But now that this is ready to go, we now need to build our center pushing up or down system. In this case, because this is the bottom one, it will be pushing up. So what we need to do is all the items are going to get pushed out from these pistons here, 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 and here. So now we need, at this level, right in the center, we're going to need pistons pushing up. And then we need to make sure that we power all of them properly. So each time the redstone signal goes around, we want to go ahead and power this. And what we do is either this block or this block of power from this side needs to come over here. And same with all 4 sides. So what we can do is build something like that, and then come down. And then what we need to do is actually have this come around like so. Leaving a 1 space gap there. Actually, do I need that? I might not need that. Alright, now we want to take a repeater off of here and here. And then run redstone out like so. And this, in theory, is ready to go except for the on-off switches. So now you need to figure out where you're going to control this from. First of all, it's going to probably want to be a floor like right about here, because that's where you're going to want to stand. So let's go ahead and let's actually build out a floor. That will work for now. Okay, so now the next thing is we need to get the system operational, which means we're going to go ahead and go to this corner and this corner, and we're actually going to get rid of the redstone there, and we're going to build a block right there with a sticky piston like so, and get rid of that block. Now when this sticky piston is active, this redstone loop will work because this repeater right here will pull signal out of this if it gets powered by that. So this is perfect right here to make this function. Now we're going to come down over here, get rid of that redstone signal and that block, and do something very similar. Sticky piston facing down, and block, when that gets extended, that one will be active and allow it to come around, except that redstone won't pull the signal out. So on this one side, we actually need to switch around the redstone a bit. This repeater here, timings will be the same, so that will still work just fine, but it will now take signal out of that block. So that is correct there. Now what we want to do is take a lever up here, and we'll take it from right here, say, and we'll take a redstone torch, and we will bring that signal down over here. Like so. And then we'll take a redstone torch off the side of that and take that signal over here. And get rid of these blocks that aren't necessary. Alright, and so now what we'll see is that one will be extended when well, currently there is no lever, but when there is no lever, and then if we stick a lever right here and we turn off the redstone torch there, that will turn off this piston and extend that piston. So basically this is going to be a switch to switch between stone and basalt. And that will figure out which one of these systems is active at any given time. However, it won't activate the system. So to activate the system, what we're going to want to do is we will come over here. We should use any other block. There we go. And that actually just activated the basalt system because I updated that observer, and it is currently able to be turned on. What did I do wrong? Oh, I forgot my repeaters. That's what it was. Okay. See, you gotta be careful. Again, repetition, like doing it the same every single time is a problem. Alright, now all sides don't really work. Alright, let me switch this off real quick. We do need to fix. Clearly we had a problem with the redstone down at the bottom. Let's figure that out. These basalt broke this, so it will no longer push up because we broke the redstone, because we obviously put redstone where it couldn't be. So let's figure this out. Alright, we can fix this by simply... We'll bring the signal down here and then extend this around in a big old circle. And then, to be honest, to be safe, there's no reason to actually have this redstone here. And that'll make sure we don't somehow create some sort of a loop. And that should now make our system work just fine, fixing my mistake. Alright, so the final redstone orientation is that these come out, come down and over, and then this loops around to the 4 repeaters here, and this side also comes down and over. So if you just want to take a look at that right there, that is how the system should actually be laid out. I apologize for messing that up earlier. Alright, now let's get back to doing what we were doing, which is getting these systems started up. So the other thing is going to be a observer facing in this direction here on this side. And this is a great placement for it right here. And what we'll do is we will go ahead and just ladder power this up. And we all need to come to here as well. Alright, and that right there will work. And now what we should see is we should be getting stone out of this system. Ooh, we're getting cobblestone occasionally. So I have noticed that sometimes the timing doesn't quite work the way we expect it to. And if you just change the number of ticks, I think it might be 4, 2, 1. So 1 and then 2 and then 4 as we come around this outside. I think that might be the one that actually works well. Let's make some more and see. Still not quite working right. Let me go see what it was. I had done it over here. So yeah, over here was 114 made all stone. I don't know. This cobblestone problem that we're having right now has been a problem for me. I don't know what's causing it. I don't know why it's happening, but it has been an issue. And I've been trying to figure out what's causing it. If anyone has any suggestions as to why I'm generating cobblestone occasionally, I would love to hear them. Like, I know the physics behind it. Obviously, the lava is flowing down before the water flows over, but I have no idea why that would be allowed to happen. And why sometimes it will happen and sometimes it won't. That doesn't make any sense to me, but if anyone knows how to fix it, I would love that answer. But currently this is a stone/cobblestone generator, and it works just fine. And so what we have up here is we actually have a selector switch, which is also the off switch. So we can select which kind of material we're making. And then over here, flick this lever in either direction, and it will start the system up in the direction that is selected over here. Now, you don't want to flick this multiple times. It won't break the system, like you won't destroy it. But until you turn it off, there's a chance you may not be making anything because the timings will all be wrong and it won't be pushing up properly. So just know that that is a thing. And this system is good to go. We're done. Done. Finished. Now what I do recommend doing is building this all up here. And the reason for that being, this isn't fast enough, especially if you have haste 3. If you throw a pyramid, a beacon right next to this, which I do recommend doing with haste 3 on it, and an efficiency 5 diamond pick or an efficiency 5 pick of any kind, I think, definitely an efficiency 5 diamond though, you will insta-mine both stone and basalt. Unfortunately, you don't insta-mine cobblestone, so getting that fixed is kind of important. I don't know what's going on, but you will get that. Now, you actually don't need an efficiency 5 pick with a haste 3 to do basalt. I don't know what the actual combination is to make it insta-mine, but if you want to do the stone, you need that, so then I would always have that, and then this will work for both. But this will do what you need, and you'll collect what you need. And then you could make this floor out of hoppers if you wanted to, and make it so that it auto-collects and build some sort of a collection system. I decided not to. It's not that hard to just like wander around and pick it up. But if you wanted to, you could make it collect it. But that is this system done, and now we're going to go ahead and build the upper one. Alright, unless I again mess something up, which I could have. I believe that this is done, except for now the pistons that point downwards. So what we need to do is go ahead and get those in place. Now, obviously, again, this is the pistons that are going to push everything to the center. So it's this height that the pistons need to be on in the center. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now powering these pistons is going to be the same blocks, but obviously they need to go in a different place in order to get them working for this. Now I do recommend, just in case you built this too close to the one below, although you probably didn't, that you use obsidian for these 4 blocks here. That will just make sure that those pistons down there can't push these up. Also, if you're going to actually have those pistons down there floating instead of on the actual ground, you might want to put obsidian under those as well. But I have always built this into the ground and just realized now that that isn't really something I did this time. So, but that is that. And then we'll just come across like this. Now on this one, we can do a little something different, because we don't have to power the pistons individually, because we can power the block on top of them and that'll work. You can't power the block underneath a piston facing upwards. That won't make it turn on. But when you power the block underneath a piston, that will, on top of a piston rather, that will make it turn on. Which means that in this instance, what we can do is place our repeater here and here, and then we still want to go ahead and place these repeaters here to make sure that the feedback doesn't happen. And then we just connect this all up with redstone right here like so, and then we just place our 4 redstone on top there. And that is done. Now we can do the exact same thing as we did down there to do the on-off buttons and everything. And we can use the same switches, and in fact I recommend it, but we're going to just have to get a little bit creative with the redstone directionality. So what we'll do is we'll break this block here. Actually, we'll go ahead and leave this block here. We'll just break the redstone on it. On this one, what we'll do is we'll actually push this piston upwards instead of downwards. So right now, where it is, it won't pass redstone signal, but when it gets pushed up, it will. And we can do the same thing right here. And then again, don't forget to swap over the redstone repeater here. Now this is where it does get a little bit tricky. We're going to take our redstone signal off of this, and we need to power that block and that block, but alternate the power on those. So currently the extended one is the basalt, so the power actually needs to get to up there, and the off power needs to get over here. And you can do this in any manner you want. You can even, if you have plenty of room, you could come on out here and do it out here. I just try to keep everything contained. And now that actually should have turned on our basalt generator just by placing that block, because, and we'll see if the basalt generator actually works. Looks like it is working so far. Alright, now we should be able to turn off the basalt generator by flipping that switch. And it did. Great, that's perfect. Now let's get rid of what we can reach from here. And now that also means that it is now in stone mode. And if we flick this switch, we should start making stone from both above and below. And again, for some reason, we are having that cobblestone issue, but we are making stone. So that is working well. And then if we flick this switch, that'll set it in basalt mode and turn off the stone generator. And then in theory, if we flick this switch to turn it on, we should be getting basalt from above and below. Now obviously there is some stone in the system whichever direction you switch it to, so it will take a second to start getting the stone you want if it's not the one it was already making. But that shouldn't really be too much of a problem. Unfortunately, without haste, I actually am not able to keep up with the stone generation, so it's taking a little bit longer in some places, but it does look like we are indeed getting stone from everywhere. And you will get a couple of blocks here and there that get mixed in of the wrong stone as well right after you start the system, because they are still in some of the like side bits and able to get pushed if things just happen to tick correctly for them. But eventually you will just get the stone you want. And as you can see, we are just getting basalt, and it is coming from above and below. This is working well. It's working faster than I can deal with it with creative. Obviously, Instamine is better, but it works quite well. There might be slightly more efficient designs, but I've never seen one that actually has a nice place. And like, this is so small with haste, you can literally just like move your mouth like this and just continuously get blocks. You don't need to move, you don't need to use any energy, you just do this and you'll get all the blocks you could ever want. You'll just have to run around and pick them up occasionally unless you do set up some kind of hopper system. What I did was I actually used obsidian in the floor so that I couldn't accidentally mine it. But whatever you want to do, that's on you. I do recommend turning the system off when you're not using it. Both it will help the server so it doesn't have lag, but it also will just make sure that when you come back everything will work properly. Otherwise you might need to flip it on and off a couple times to just get it to kick back into gear, but you won't break the system. That's what all this obsidian is about. It will guarantee the overflowing the system or unlocking it and turning it back on. Like, there's no way to actually permanently break this system without like blowing it up or having an Enderman move something or something like that. Whereas there are some systems out there that if you leave the chunk, it could like move a block that's not supposed to get moved, and then now it never works again. So you're not going to have that problem, which is great. Well, that is going to do it for us today. That is our stone and basalt generator. I hope you guys find this tutorial helpful, and remember folks, don't get trapped without me. Bye-bye!